Well, after 2 weekends and 8 teams, we're down to the final three. It is the lower bracket finals of the COWZA Kiriko Cup. If you're just joining us, it's a cup that COWZA have put on. Just a fun little pug-style cup. People join, they play the video game, and they have a lot of fun, hopefully. My name is Sun Phoenix. I'm joined, as you can see, by the lovely Fluffy. Welcome.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Happy to have you here. We casted together so much last weekend, and now
We did.
this is our first time hanging out here, right towards the end. But if you are just joining us, and as you can see on the screen, it is the California Girls taking on Team Tree. One of these teams you're quite familiar with, Fluffy, as I understand it, having just experienced a grueling defeat against them.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to talk about me being beaten by the Team Tree players as I subbed for someone. Yeah, Team Tree are with a different look from the previous game where they were casted. Their actual players have woken up, have been spared from the load shedding curse, and they're ready to play now. And then the California Girls, a favorite of myself and of many people, who unfortunately lost last night in the upper bracket final against the Frontline Fighters. So California Girls will be looking to revenge against the Frontline Fighters later tonight, but to get there first they have to defeat the trees. They have to wade through the forest.
Exactly, and that proved to be a tough task for the previous team. We'll have to wait and see how the next team does, how the California Girls are able to do. But as you say, they came off a loss, and it was a close matchup against the Frontline Fighters, but they ended up going down, and it ended up being a 3-0, I believe. So they've got something to prove here. In one way, they could look at this as preparation for that rematch, as you implied. But Team Tree are coming with a different momentum here. They're coming off a big, scary win. But as you say, got changes from the squad we would have seen in the last match. So let's run to the Team Tree roster quickly. It's going to be Talos on the DPS alongside Fishy Mang, I believe. And then we've got Stalker, will be coming back into that tank role, replacing Blur, who was just subbing in. And then we've got Miner and Samurai PTA on the supports. A lot of familiar names there. Talos and Fishmang we won't have seen before this tournament. And Samurai as well. Then on the other side, we've got the California Girls. It's Apricornicus and BTS Fan. We saw them on the DPS yesterday. BTS Fan, of course, best known for his Genji, but struggled to make that work in the match against the Frontline Fighters yesterday. We've got Alvin Slayer on the tank role, and then we've got Damien and Restio Sun on the support. So anything stand out to you about these two squads, Fluffy?
So I think we're going to see two different game plans going into this from each team. We're going to see what looks to be more of a carry performance from the Talos and from Stalker, really trying to sort of drag the rest of the team along, while from California Girls we're seeing a pretty good performance from the entire team. It's that age-old thing of of having really strong individuals or a really strong team, and which one will come out first. I'm favoring the California Girls, honestly. They look to be the stronger team. They have beaten Team Tree before, obviously playing in the group stage. But it'll be interesting to see if Team Tree can step up after obviously playing quite well last game. Another question is, will people be warm? As you play more, you warm up, and Team Tree, a few of their players didn't actually play, so this is the first game of the day. But I think the thing to be looking out for on the side of Team Tree is, can Fishy Mang and Samurai PT, who are new to Overwatch, new to Overwatch 2, can they really step up in this high pressure situation? California Girls, I'm thinking, is just, there's no real weakness in that team. They're a strong, solid team with a really, really strong backline, really strong tank line. Tank is not one person, but tank player then, and a really strong DPS line. So it'll be interesting to see that head to head. Yeah,
a tank dot, as it were. I will take a look at the maps quickly. The first map will be Nepal. It is a pre-mandated match set up here, so as you can see, all the maps have already been decided. We'll start on Control as usual, end on Control as well. Nepal to start it off, then we'll head over to Push and New Queen Street, followed up by the hybrid map Hollywood, and then on to Escort Junkertown. It is a best of 5, as you can gather from this. But starting off on Nepal here, It's going to be interesting to see the complexion this map takes, Fluffy. I think I was shocked. Let me not put words in your mouth. But I was shocked by how much play Junkrat got and how pivotal that ended up being to that series. Both Apricornicus and Zwoon ended up getting a lot of value out of that hero. And this is what the main menu looks like. Oh, just for a moment. But yeah, that ended up being interesting to me. What do you think we're going to see more of that Junkrat play? Or do you think that was kind of an anomaly?
I think it was a bit of an anomaly. Junkrat's not the best hero in Overwatch 2, but that really doesn't matter if you have someone who's comfortable and strong on that hero, and we saw people getting value out of the Junkrat. I don't think Junkrat is more in the hero pool of Talos, Fishymang, BTS Fan, and Apricornicus. I think it was more of something that was just pulled out because of the situation. Like we're going to see Talos on the Soldier, we're going to see Fishymang on the Reaper that he so enjoys, we're going to see Apricornicus, we're not sure, because I suspect this is going to be just Spawn TP, and we're going to have Babs on his favorite Genji. The things to look out for in the DPS perspective is Talos getting a lot of value on the Soldier, he's done it before, and BTS Fan, can he get value in the Genji? Because we all know how Babs loves his Genji.
Yeah, absolutely. Apricornicus does this every time. He'll probably end up on the Tracer or the Sombra here. If I had to guess, and it will be the Tracer. So they're going to go for a much more aggressive lineup. Team Tree, while having the Stalker, they've got an otherwise static DPS line in the form of that Soldier, of course, and then Reaper can sort of get aggressive as well into the Diva. Now, looks like they're going to go forward here. Both teams kind of getting aggressive into each other. Very chaotic team fight to start it off, but it's going to be Babs who gets the first kill, gets a second as well. Miner, and Talos down, but return kills coming out. It's a 2 versus 3 at the moment. Can they clean up the kill? Stalker will drop, and that should be that. Should be first cap going the way of California Kills, but they're going to lose Alvin Slayer's mech here. Just be careful, Fishymang, not to just execute himself there off the deflect, but California Girls will take control to start things off here, Fluffy.
Not the worst fight from the from Team Tree though, because they did get that mech, like you said, and they can. And we're going to see it now. They're re-engaging, and California Girls don't have the mech. This could be a big fight, and they're going to pick off the Diva.
Oh, yeah. Mech will now definitely not be coming out, at least not until Alvin Slayer respawns. And Team Tree are going to look to get aggressive here, try and close down the angles, close down the players. And Fishymang, he will get second blood, I suppose, as BTS Fan goes down. Apricornicus tracked down by Fishymang and executed with impunity on the point. So a good start for California Girls, but not having Alvin Slayer, you can see really not paying off for them there.
Yeah, it was actually a really good play from Fishymang there in that first fight. He survived and he got the mech, which was the crucial thing, allowing Team Tree to then re-engage really nice and really quickly. But we might see Team Tree, California Girls use the ults that they've been building up now and maybe get some value.
COWZA having to be popped there by minus Kiriko. Apricornicus though strikes first, and Damien, he's going to take down Fishymang. That's a lot of damage now off the field. Stalker, Miner all dropping. This will be a full team wipe before it's all said and done. And 30 to 23 flipping once again. Such a back and forth match so far, Fluffy.
Yeah, it's just flip a coin who's going to win the fight. It's individual players, and now we're going to see a big ults from both teams coming in. California Girls have been responding to this Doomfist really well, which people have struggled with in the past.
Yeah, oh, they're going to start off with a self-destruct here. Oh, the kill. Okay, that's how we get started. One for the rodeo. 1 HP, literally 1 HP there. It will go up to near a full as he gets that mega. But Stalker, lucky to escape with his life, but he was as good as dead there. 1 HP worth of ultimate charge is nothing, and he ended up not being able to come back to the team. Oh, as I say that, here he comes back to the team fight. Perhaps not the best decision. He's got the healing backup, but you've got to expect him to go down. He won't go down. He will come back in. Okay, Stalker. Looking to find some targets here, but Kiriko Rush will come out now for Team Tree as they look to close it out, or at least get some kills. But BTS Fan in the backline gets rid of one. Restio's son will take care of his opposite number. BTS Fan with a triple kill, courtesy of the Dragon Blade into the opposing. Make that a quad kill into the opposing Kiriko Rush. California Girls have found a rhythm here, Fluffy.
K-pop has arrived in the form of BTS Fan. That was really well played and really good ult usage. Now they still kept their beat, which is important because it means they can respond to the Death Blossom, and maybe Alvin Slayer can get a nice matrix on it. And they're going aggressive. They decided to go aggressive with the beat.
Oh yeah, he gets Miner. He was tracking him down, Alvin Slayer, for so long. We'll find that kill. They're gonna have to scramble to the point here, Team Tree, and I don't think they're gonna make it. Stalker put in a corner and punched to death here by Restio's son. And that will be that. California Girls back and forth to start with, but they found something through the middle there. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Leave a bomb in spawn?
Jesus.
That was a really
in the next game.
It was that first back and forth. We saw California Girls won the first fight, but Team Tree responded really well, and the California Girls responded back really well. But then California Girls, like you said, they found their rhythm, and they responded to their Stalker. We saw really good players. We saw Damien picks on the Kiriko, which is always important. We saw Yosin booping Stalker to prevent the stall. It was every single one of California Goals getting value, a lot of value, and that's what we said. There is no weak point in California Goals. Team Tree need to like step up their performance because they're being found out at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, California Girls are getting the run of the show at the moment here. Coming out with compositions though, no need for changes on the side of Team Tree. At least that's what they believe. In fact, both teams running the same comp, and it didn't really feel like a comp difference. I felt more of just an execution difference here. Stalker on the point now. Team Tree holding that position. You can see a lot of low HP heroes for the California Girls though. One pick could lead to a cascade of kills, and BTS fan, he will be that pick. As Apricornicus looks for picks in the backline. Fushimang on this point, kind of holding it down, zoning out the rest of the team, and now he finds the target. He moves forward, Hellfire shotguns into the back of Alvin Slayer, and he will be taken down as Talos and Co to close things out here. They will get the first cap here. Team Tree on the point, so once again, good start for them.
I think it's much better aggression that we saw. We saw how aggressive California Girls were going and how that then forced Team Tree on the back foot. But now we've seen the opposite. We've seen Team Tree decide how they want to engage and how they want to play the fights. And this is how they have to continue. It's a really good start from Team Tree.
Is indeed, but California Girls are going to try and bring it back here. Quick punch back from Stalker. Will buy space on the point. He will back up, but a pause comes out here. They didn't call for one, so that must be a DC pause.
Maybe. I mean, we saw
Talos called for pause.
Talos calls for pause. Interesting. We saw Team Tree engaged, but then they decided to back off. Things weren't looking their way, and then we see a massive pick. Damien gets the pick on his opposite number. Kiriko diff is there, and that could be crucial because that's a lot of the healing gone for Team Tree. They only have their Lucio now. And with how aggressively Team Tree want to play these things, that could be an issue. Talos, though, does have this nice high ground position, so he might take advantage of that. But we've seen California Girls before. They ebb and flow really well as a team. They push in, they back out, and they're getting picks. Every single one of California Girls is getting picks. We've seen Apricornicus get... Oh, we lost someone. Oh, that's
Talos,
not good.
yeah.
Oh, and I think he was close to Visor.
Yeah, that is real not good. I was just about to say, as far as losing your healer goes, this is an okay team to have that happen. Of course, that's never a good thing. But Fishy Mang, Soldier, obviously Lucio, they can all keep themselves fairly healthy. It's just Stalker who would need the backup, and even he's got a varying HP pool. Does he? No, he doesn't.
No, he does have damage mitigation, but he also has the mobility to always get out.
That is true.
I think, honestly, at this point, what we're going to see is hopefully when Talos reconnects, he does live in Europe, so hopefully he has power infrastructure, unlike us.
Yo, what's that like?
I know, right? But I think, honestly, at this point, Team Tree, they know this fight's over. They have control of point. They're just going to, one by one, die on points, get as much percent as possible, and then come back and try for the next fight, because they do have ults. California Girls have sort of, they got a really, really good pick. They picked off Mina Minor, and now they've sort of got a free fight, which is unlucky, and we don't like to see it, but good for California Girls, and hopefully Team Tree don't get themselves set back by this.
Yeah, if I'm Team Tree here, maybe I'm just get out of here. I mean, they wouldn't know the ult advantage they have, but if they give away no HP, they will come into the next fight with a big advantage.
They do have point, though. They have points, so they can just die on point.
True.
Just die on point and get as much percentage as possible. Fishy Mang just stays there. Wraiths, he survives for a bit. He dies. Then Samurai goes in. Wraiths, he dies. Not Wraiths. Just speeds around. Is a frog on the roof. Dies, and then Stalker comes in. He runs around a bit and he dies. Maybe they get a pick off the back of that. They don't really have to win the fight. They just have to lose slowly.
That is very true.
That will be a successful fight for them if they can do that.
Yeah, and as they slowly get picked off, eventually Talos will come back in and maybe he gets another touch, so it can kind of get out of hand for the California Girls.
They're not going to win this fight. They're not going to win this fight, but they can lose slowly, which is a good thing for them.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Talos is back in the game. He was complaining about lag, so at least I think that's what he was complaining about. You said he was based in Europe.
Yes, he is. Maybe it's. I don't know. He's downloading something in the background.
He should be getting 150 ping, right? Just to clue you guys in. There is a minimum ping feature, and that means that even if you're playing from Europe into a lobby where that's enabled, you will be playing on 150 pings, what we have it set to. So he does not have an advantage, at least not in that sense. But By now,
Has,
he'll be used to that, so
he
that's
has
not
the
the
load
problem.
shedding advantage.
He does have the load shedding advantage. That is true, as does most of the rest of the world, as it turns out.
Yeah.
But such is life. Okay, looks like we're good to go here. Pretty
Yeah, but
much.
interested to
So,
see how Team Tree decide to play this. If they do want to try and win this or not, because they do have I think we might see Stalker use his ult. He has been quite liberal with the use of that ult. It is quite a free ult to use in a way, but I suspect they're just gonna lose this fight slowly and let California Girls take it.
well, one thing they do have is a lot of time to discuss what they want to do in
True.
this next team fight. Of course, they don't have all the information we do. They can't see the enemy's ult charge. They can't see exactly where each other are for the most part. So they can't get too, pretty with it. But let's have a look here. What are you waiting for, gentlemen?
Um,
They're waiting for us.
I think they're waiting for
Okay,
Team Tree. Ah, here we go.
there we go. So we will get back underway here. Just to remind you guys, Team Tree down 2 players now with the death of Miner and the respawn of Talos. So California Girls will want to just move towards the point here, and looks like okay. Stalker will drop quickly here. I'd like to see them move to the point. Fishy-Mang on a cool 10 HP here will eventually get tracked down and taken down. So California Girls will recap the point, but 36 on the clock. Unfortunate for Team Tree, but you got to take what you can get.
Yeah, they played that as well as they could with the unfortunate situation. And unfortunately they did lose their visor as well, but they still have the meteor strike. Stalker's got value out of that before, even if it is just to survive. That's good value. On the other hand, California Girls do have their beat, which could prove an issue for Team Tree.
Could prove indeed. As to get aggressive here, is just patrolling the flank there a little bit. Apricorn, because he'll find Fishy-Mang. That's a bad start. Fishy-Mang struggling to work towards his ulti. Stalker with the meteor strike onto the point. Self-destruct, gonna go out in the other direction. Will it find anything? Not on this occasion. We've seen that spark get a lot of value, but not finding anything there. But what is getting value is Apricornicus on the Tracer. He picks off Talos, and BTS fan will clean up the point with a kill on Stalker and Samurai. So California Girls, they'll take that little advantage they were given and they will run with it.
Honestly, not the worst though for Team Tree. It was looking bad for them going into that fight. They didn't have a lot of ults, and they've charged some ults now. They're going to have Fishy-Mang's Death Blossom, and he's got a lot of value from that. Already in the previous series, we saw that. The issue though, California's ult economy is looking good. They've got their Blade, they've got their Kiriko Rush, Kitsune Rush, and the beat.
Here comes that Kiriko Kitsune Rush and the beat as they look to get aggressive here. They've decided they're not going to play reactively, they're going to play proactively, and it's a decision I like to see from teams. Fishy-Mang finds Damien in the backline, so healing a little bit limited here. Alvin Slayer might need to be a little bit careful, but he wants this Lucio, and he will find it. And that will be that. California Girls in control now, starting to get a little bit dive for Team Tree.
Yeah, California Girls playing things really well, and importantly, they're winning these fights and they're keeping onto their beat, which is a massive, massive ult. You can't overstate how important beat is as an ult. And Team Tree are still waiting for those ults to come online. They're going to get the Kitsune Rush now, and someone has to touch. Oh, and Damien,
He dueled Miner out there. They sort of just strafe shooting at each other from across the map, and Damien gets the better, and he will get the other support now. But speaking of cleaning up, Fishy-Mang here, the janitor, spin to win, looks to clean up the California Girls, and that will bail them out there. That looked like a disastrous start, Fluffy, but the Death Blossom, as you suggested it might, coming in clutch.
That was. I honestly thought Damien had won it for the team there. That was a massive pick because Mina Miner had the Kitsune Rush, and I thought that was going to be big ult for them. But Fishy-Mang coming up big with his Death Blossoms, and we've seen that a lot today of Fishy-Mang getting value.
You're gonna have to rely on something different in this team fight, though. They do have the Kitsune Rush from Miner. They do have the attack visor, as we can see, from Talos. So he's going to try and get value here. Maybe a little bit aggressive pop, but no, he will find the Lucio. So that's a good start. Restioson a bit far forward, and that is nice play from Team Tree. They used the attack visor to get aggressive and clean up a lot of kills here. Will they clean up the rest? Nice tracking from Talos here. We'll try and get Apricornicus, but no, he'll get out in the nick of time. So Team Tree in firm control, at least for the moment.
And we've actually seen a little bit of maybe a swing. Team Tree have recontested really well. Fishy-Mang got the good ult, and now they were looking at last fight territory. Apricornicus is going to be looking for a pulse bomb. He's got value from them before, but this is an even fight, I think.
Oh, self-destruct, not even anymore. Samurai out of the fight here. He wasn't close to beat, so that won't be lost at least, but Stalker will strike back. Healing now limited. Damien taken down here. Could be trouble for the California Girls, fighting into the Kiriko rush as well. That will expire, but so will BTS fan. Stalker finds him with a punch. Alvin Slayer on the pointer, on the Diva, taken out of mech. Not yet, will be soon though. Fishyman uncontested on the point. He won't be close to ulti for a while, but he's not going to need it here as Team Tree clean up here. Damien doing his damnedest to keep his team in the game, but it's not going to be enough as the California Girls are taken out, taken down, and taken to map 3.
Yeah, that was a very good round from Team Tree. They played that really well after that DC. You thought it was looking bad for them, but they brought it back. And you maybe think, you think California Girls should have really had that. They had that big ult advantage. They had the advantage of the DC, and then you really think they should have brought it home. And we saw individual plays, but I don't know. Team Tree brought it back with some really, really good, good teamwork, which was good to see after that first round, where we thought the teamwork was in the favor of California Girls, and Team Tree, but then brought it back in the second round. Maybe Team Tree just needed to warm up a bit.
Yeah, maybe they did. I mean, of these two teams, they're the only one that played a match today, so that would be unusual. But of course, as you said, a lot of them weren't even playing. Exactly. So, this is the first match for 7 or so of the players on each of these teams. We don't see any adaptations coming out of these teams, although as I say that, I see now the Sombra is in the mix here for Apricornicus. He's been oscillating between Sombra and Tracer quite a lot here as BTS fan. He's looking for Talos on the high ground, won't find that kill just yet, but just brooding under pressure for now. And speaking of pressure on the front line here, onto the Doomfist, hacked up, won't get taken down, and really not under that much pressure as I say that. But he will come into the backline now, need to be careful here. Diva dropping low, won't get taken down, neither will the Doomfist though, as Fishyman looks to find the pick onto Damien here under a lot of pressure. He gets the headshot. Can they find the kill? He's so low HP. One more shot and Restio-san to the rescue there. A punch to the cranium there of Fishyman will execute that pesky Reaper in the backline, and Talos on point now, taken down as well. Nice. So first cap goes the way of Team Tree, but California Girls, they'll take the first team fight.
That was honestly a really well played by the California Girls, a really well played fight by the California Girls support. They managed to keep Damien alive throughout that. That was really good movement, really good positioning, and a lot of damage coming out from him. Look how close he is to his ult already. Big difference between Mina and Minor. It'll be interesting. With the Sombra adaptation, it's interesting because lots of teams have tried it into the Doomfist of Stalker, but with varying success.
We'll have to see if Apricornicus can make it work here as Stalker. You can see how much of a nuisance he is. He's still on full HP despite how aggressive he's playing here. Although he's playing a very measured style at the moment and it's working out for him. He's got DPS to do the damage. Oh, he tracks down the Sombra there. Nice work from Stalker. That's going to prevent Apricornicus from getting into the background. He's going to pop the Meteor Strike here. Just look to find a couple of exit kills, but won't find anything on that occasion. But what they will find is a point switch for Team Tree.
Yeah, we're seeing much like the first round of this map. We saw it's a bit of a back and forth, and now we're going to have the ults coming out. We've seen the first ult in the form of the Meteor Strike, but look at the ult economy of California Girls. They're going to be going into this fight with 4, probably 5 ults. It's going to be interesting if they can layer them properly, and we're going to see the opening with the Kiriko rush. As
you say, Kiriko rush. Alvin Slayer immediately finds Talos as well. He was a little bit out in the open there on top of the statue, and Alvin Slayer took advantage of that. Babs also popped the Dragon Strike. Alvin Slayer will pop the Diva ulti as well, so an expensive-ish team fight here, but if they win this, which they should at this point, as Damien finds Samurai, PTA as well, they will still have EMP and Beat going into the next fight, so I think that was pretty well managed by the California Girls, Fluffy.
Yeah, it's pretty well managed. A Diva Bomb isn't that great of an ult, although that being said, it's got a lot of value in this tournament.
Fluffy.
But now we're going to see maybe a bit of the opposite, because Team Tree are going to come in with lots of the ults, and we've seen how much value they've got out of the Attack Visor and out of Fishyman's Death Blossom before.
Oh, they're going to start with Attack Visor, Kiriko rush, Kitsune rush, apologies, going out as well. Finding any picks just yet, the Beat doing a good job of mitigating a lot of that damage, but the Death Blossom on the point there will find Damien. It's been a big part of California Girls winning this team fight, so this healing might be a problem here. Sombra going to have to TP out, Alvin Slayer on point, low HP. Taken out of mech, taken out of this team fight as well. Fishyman, what is this? There we go. Fishyman will track down the Restio-san. Buying a little bit of time, and speaking of buying time, I think Apricornicus must have found his way back at a point. He will get pushed back, but 87%, I think California Girls can be happy with how the state of the game is.
They can, but it's now going to be an interesting swap, a Wrecking Ball, off of the Diva onto the Wrecking Ball. I don't know what the thought process is behind this. I thought Alvin Slayer was doing quite a lot of work. BTS fan gets a good pick. Wrecking Ball hasn't done anything so far, but well, I guess, prove us wrong, Elvin.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe it doesn't even matter what he's playing because his team is just cleaning up here on the point. Oh, as I say that, he's under a lot of pressure now from the Reaper. Damien as well. They need to find the kills, they need to find the cleanup. Babs, he wants to be the janitor here. He comes in with the blade. He finds one. Reaper, low HP. Can they get that kill, Babs? And Alvin will look to track him down, but Babs taken down. The point will be flipped, though, at exactly 87%. So California's girls now in the driver's seat, but Stalker looking to force them back here as they come out of spawn. He's under a lot of pressure here. He's taking a lot of charge. Low HP hacked up, but Damien will get that kill. So now California girls can move back onto the point now and try and hold. Kitsune Rush will go forward here. Team Tree now having to back up, having to fight into this ultimate. Sorry, it is there. No, it isn't. It is this. So California girls, you can see the minefield here. Stalker, he can't find an angle to get onto point here. Talos skipping the attack visor. He's not even able to fire his gun, having to sprint around to dodge the damage. Stalker on point in the corner, taken down. And California girls will take the first map.
Yeah, the first round was a bit one-sided, but the second two were very, very even. And that was really, really well played from the California girls. They were at times a bit hot and cold, but they brought it back, and by the end they were looking nothing but hot. We're going to see a nice little Genji blade. Oh, love to see it.
Seem to be finding much, but it doesn't matter when you find the kills as long as you do, and the cleanup is there. The 4K for Babs. So really nice work from the California girls. We expected them to be the stronger of these two teams, and so far they're showing that. But that said, we saw the frontline fighters were able to handle them yesterday. So the key to this team is often dealing with Babs on that Genji. Do you think he's been that critical, can opener for them here, or it's more complicated than that?
I think it's a bit more complicated. We've seen, I think, at times different players. We saw Apricornicus getting a lot of 2 or 3 pulse bombs that really opened up fights. We saw Babs getting nice engagements in combination with Elven Slayer. The two of them diving a target and then just instantly killing it. And we saw a lot of opening picks. I think we saw 2 or 3 as well from Damien. So, and then I don't want to understate also the Lucio's value, because Restiosa was keeping those beats and using them really well. So it was, I think, really good team play from all of the California girls. And then, I also, but Team Tree also played it very well. They weren't pushovers. I mean, just those 2 of those maps were 99-99.
Yeah, true.
Or 87-99.
Yeah, 87-99. Come on, Fluffy, get it right. So yeah, that is, I couldn't agree more. I think the California girls have been the stronger team of the two. Again, though, you look at that second map though, where you had that disconnect from Talos, and it kind of forces them into a really awkward position, and they still ended up fighting back from that. So you don't need me to tell you that there's everything to play for here, and it was very close for that first map. But let's take a look at what our second map will be. It will of course be the push map, New Queen Street, the oldest and most favored of all the push maps. And we'll have to wait and see here. Based on what we saw on the first map, can you get any sense of who you think might be favored on this map?
I think that'd be difficult to say, because it really depends on if we see. I think we know California girls are going to play well. They have this coordination and cohesion to them. I think it really depends on 2 things. First, are we going to see that kind of coordination from Team Tree? And secondly, are we going to see the Widowmaker? Because Talos enjoyed the Widowmaker on this map in the last round and found a lot of success with it. And a Widowmaker on form can just win any map. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not really sure what we're going to see out of Team Tree. Also, this could be a good map for Doomfist. And we've seen Stalker like that Doomfist.
Did he play anything else in the last series? Because I feel like I've only seen him play Doomfist.
He didn't play in the last series.
Oh, that's true.
I know yesterday he briefly played Zarya and D.Va, but then he swapped off it and went back to Doomfist. He is a Doomfist connoisseur. He is enjoying his Doomfist play.
Yeah, no, that's clear to see. And Doomfist is one of those tanks you feel like you can really control the game with. You're not so reliant on your teammates in a lot of ways. So maybe that's something. He just wants to be a little bit more independent. And I mean, they're here. At worst, they're 3rd place in the Kiriko Cup, so you can't really argue with the results.
Interesting switch up. We're going to see Talos on the Reaper and Fishy Mag on the Soldier. They did this last game as well. Talos and Fishy Mang swapped around their roles. Oh no, but we'll
Oh
see
no,
Talos.
I think
But Fishy
they.
Mang on the soldier is going to be interesting.
I wonder if he doesn't switch here, but okay, no, they're gonna go with the Reaper on Talos and the Soldier. That is peculiar. I guess maybe just favoring different.
Mystery heroes.
Oh my god, what is happening, gentlemen? What is happening? There we
It's
go.
actually
They
important
fixed
now.
it. They fixed
It's
it.
important because now we're going to see California Girls with a positional advantage. They're the first ones here, and Team Tree are not in a position to take this fight because they were stopping in spawn.
Yeah,
Look
we
how
know
much
how
positional
important.
advantage California Girls
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. Controlling this bridge on the high ground here, and we know how important the first couple of fights can be in push. But to their credit, Team Tree didn't really look to get aggressive there without their players. And look at that, a lot of damage coming through onto the Tracer of Apricornicus. He won't get taken down. Point has unlocked, but winning the team fight is more critical than getting that first cap. But it will be who is that? Somebody got the first cap. Blue team. Team Tree did. BTS fan though, he'll get the much more important first, and that's the first pick of the team fight. Apricornicus, look at the pesky Tracer in the backline. They're going to look to try and clean up Stalker here. Where's the HP? There it is on this point. But an even fight so far. Stalker under pressure. He's going to charge forward here. Going to look for targets, but it's hard. He's losing players, losing teammates at quite a rate here. Now he's in a duel with the Diva. Diva's like, no thank you, I'm out of here. Gonna move instead to point, looks to get this push forward. Stalker needs to be careful here, but he's making so much space for his team to come back. Look at his HP, unaffected here, in spite of how aggressive he's been in the enemy backline. And the team is now coming back, the respawn's coming through, and so are the kills. Apricornicus will trade his life out here, but the last man standing is BTS fan. He will get taken down by the Rockets of Talos, and Stalker, the space creator.
Yeah, he played that really well, and he stalled long enough to give the rest of his team a chance to get back. And maybe California Girls could have played that better, but it was really well played by Stalker and Team Tree. We're going to see ults now being thrown at each other. Stalker built up that Meteor strike very quickly, and so did Apricornic Pulse Bomb. And we already see Talos in the flank, looking to take that off angle that his soldier is so strong.
Today, though, that could be key as well. Oh, stuck! Who did it find? It found Samurai. The Lucio out of the fight now. Who survived? Oh, the Stalker did.
He
Yes,
sick.
he absolutely did, and he killed his teammate instead. And you see how low HP he is, though. So, in spite of the fact that, again, like we saw on Nepal, you don't actually have to kill the hero if you can't come back into the fight. So, it's going to be unfortunate for them. California Girls will now regain control and get this push going.
Yes, Stalker maybe threw his teammate under the bus there, threw the pulse bomb on his teammate.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is important now because they won that second fight quickly, so now we're not seeing the snowball of fights that can happen in push.
That is true. Back and forth now. Of course, the team with the lead has a huge advantage, so even just a slight lead is worth a lot here. As Damien under pressure now. He's going to pop the Kiriko rush. They're going to pop the blade as well. The call comes through. Can they find anything? Babs just going to try and burn through this Lucio. He won't get the kill. Stalker takes him out. And in the front line, Fishy Mang wills to get better value out of his ultimate. He finds Restio Sun. The beat, not enough to keep the team healthy. And that's going to be that once again. A back and forth start to New Queen Street.
I think these teams are very evenly. Oh no, these teams are very even. But as I say that,
calling for PP. So
okay. Well, this might be the opposite of the first. Maybe we see the opposite of the first map. Maybe California Girls have a DC, and then California Girls bring it back, just like we saw Team Tree.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit more of a problem because it's not just one part of one map. It'll be the whole map that they would end up coming back. So stakes are a tiny bit higher. But Babs is just complaining about his ping. At least if he leaves, 3% of ultimate loss is not really too critical, and they are resetting currently, so he picked a good moment here to have to DC if he does have to DC. But so far, Stalker has been a real thorn in the side of the California Girls. We expected to see that on the first map, I think, even if we never said it explicitly, Fluffy, but New Queen Street, Stalker seems to really have come alive.
Yeah, Doomfist really thrives in the kind of. Doomfist isn't the strongest tank in Overwatch 2 at the moment. He's probably, if anything, the weakest tank. But
he is when I play him. That's for sure.
Where Doomfist does thrive is in these kind of situations where you have uncoordinated teams. He can really work where you have people who don't know each other, that haven't played before, and you can really exploit and abuse the strengths of Doomfist. And he's doing that very well. He's playing the hero well, and getting in, getting out. That's Doomfist's strength, and he's doing that exceptionally well, making space for Talos to take that off angle on the soldier. We've seen him doing twice now and get value.
Mhm.
And then Fishy Mang also to just walk in, use his shotguns. I love the Reaper guy, and then fade away. And he's being healed expertly well by Mina Miner and
Mhm.
Samurai PTA. So they have found their rhythm, Team Tree. California Girls need to re-embrace what they're so good at, which is all of them pressing W together.
Yeah. Yeah, that is key. They do have the Kitsune Rush on the side of Team Tree here, and neither team has really been able to gain a massive advantage here, Fluffy. Interesting to see that the entire map so far has been around this sort of hairpin bend here where the card
Mm.
starts. So we're kind of waiting to see, the if Team Tree win this team fight, they're in the driver's seat completely. But it's very possible we could just see the point bouncing back between the 2 points. But as I mentioned earlier, even this tiny lead that Team Tree have at the moment could end up being critical for the outcome of this match.
It could, and I think what we're going to see very, very importantly is these 2 checkpoints coming up.
Hmm.
Team Tree have a little bit of a lead, and they're pushing the cart right now, waiting for California Girls to stabilize and regroup. If California Girls can recontest and hopefully win the fight before Team Tree reach that checkpoint, it would be massive. Because
Hmm.
that checkpoint is so important in push. The robot will stop, scratch its butt, and take a long time. That will give California Girls time to regroup and take another fight. So California Girls want to take this fight before the robot reaches the checkpoint. If they win, fantastic, perfect for them. If they lose, they have another fight just after the checkpoint. So this upcoming fight is going to be very, very important for California Girls as we're going to go back into the game.
We will go back in here. We are just resetting for the California Girls at the moment. Alvin Slayer is remaking, question mark? Is that what happened? Oh, you got demeked and now you remix. There we go. Doesn't find the kill. Wasn't really looking for it there, but you never know with these divas you've been seeing in this tournament so far. As the point now is almost at this first checkpoint. You mentioned it. It's so important. The Kiriko Rush going to go forward here, and they're going to try and force their way onto this point, but they're not going to let it happen on the side of California Girls. Alvin Slayer positioning himself here to prevent the point from moving forward. As under pressure here is the California Girls. They've lost one. A nice pulse bomb, or won't find anything. Talos, in fact, will find Alvin Slayer. Apocornicus going down, so that's going to be that. That's going to be Team Tree now building a massive, massive advantage.
And another pause.
Jokes.
That was California Girls did get that fight before checkpoint. Now the robot is going to reach checkpoint, stop, and scratch his butt. So California Girls, if they regroup quickly, will be able to take the second fight right after checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But they used all their ults. And we're going to have
yeah.
who's DCing? That's Babs DCing. We saw Apricornicus uses Pulse Bomb, Elvis Slayer uses Diva Bomb, and they're not really close to any ults. And now, on the other hand, we're going to have Samurai PTA coming up to his beat, which could be massive to sustain, and we're going to see Stalker with his Meteor Strike. The ult economy is in the favor of Team Tree. The momentum is in favor of Team Tree. This could look to snowball at this point. If California Girls don't win this next fight, it's probably over. And the ult economy is against them.
Yeah. Of course, when you say it's over, you don't mean they're going to literally push to the end. But you do
might.
mean, it's possible, but how frequently do we see push maps actually getting completed?
Not very. Not very.
So, but it could absolutely be over in a more meta sense where, you'd have to win multiple team fights on the trot here for the California Girls to actually push it back. But like you said, Bob, or whatever this robot's name is, it's not Bob.
I believe the acronym is it's Technical Walker Assistant or something. It spells two. It spells two.
Yeah, very, very creative, the Overwatch team. But it is gonna now. Yeah, they're gonna have to wait a bit. So I looked at it. When you said he stops to scratch his butt, it literally does look like that's what he's doing.
He does.
He just pauses on point. He's decided he's done for a little bit. But there are little bollards that need to recess into the ground. That's what he's actually waiting for.
Okay.
If, like me, you were confused about that, anybody watching, it's not his fault. If he pushed, it would just tip over and the whole game would explode. But that is what there is a reason he stops there.
Sure, I think the robot is lazy, personally.
There you go. If you'll see here these bollards, as you can see them going down there. Thank you, Stalker, for pausing and showing us that.
Now we're going to see a swap. Oh, that's a good start. They needed that. They needed that.
Absolutely did. Miner going down, and there we go, Stalker as well. 2 key heroes on the side of Team Tree taken down, and the cleanup will be prodigious thereafter. Fishy Man taken down, tries to TP out, won't get out, and now TWO will go on a little jog here towards the other point. That's step 1 here of this 2-step process, Fluffy.
It is. That was a really important fight for the California girls. If they had lost that fight, we were saying it could be over. But now is step 2. They have to win this fight, otherwise they're going to be right back where they were. And the ults are going to come online soon. Talos has been building that Visor very, very quickly.
Goblin Slayer, he just switched onto the ball. He's already got 76% towards his minefield here. And he's cracking open the Team 3 defense. They've taken down 2 already. Oh, he's wedged in here. A little bit unfortunate for him, but I mean, who cares? He's got guns as well, this little ball. And now he's going to get aggressive. He's got his ultimate here. Meteor Strike will come through from Stalker onto point here. They're stalling out the point, but the advantage is firmly in California Girls' point. Oh, the Stalker just stops. He gets hacked up and he's had enough. He lets the kill come through. And that's going to be that. The momentum flipping totally here all of a sudden.
Yeah, now we're going to see what we saw before. We're going to see an interesting dynamic because now Team Tree want to take this fight before the checkpoint, and Stalker is deciding he's had enough of Doomfist. He's going to swap over to Zarya. Zarya is a very strong hero, but we haven't seen a Stalker play a lot of her. Minefield is going to open, preventing touch, and Talos is going to go down. That's really bad.
That is really bad, and that's even worse. That's double bad. Can we make it a triple? Yes, we can. Quad bad? No, it looks like Stalker was kind of sluggish there, coming out of Spore, and they moved forward without him. He switched to the Zarya, and then stood there for a while, contemplating his decision. But that ends up kind of allowing California Girls to equalize here, and now they will take that advantage as the card starts to move. There we go. Lead switches over.
Yeah, that was that's massive. Team Tree got staggered this. They couldn't recontest before the lead swapped over. Oh, that's a good EMP!
Over the top, Babs with the clean up there, dashes through. He's got his ultimate as well, so it's going to get worse here for the next team fight, and they won't need it for this one. That's for damn sure, as he picks up 4 kills in this team fight, all set up, of course, by Apricornicus' EMP.
It's a really interesting swap from the California Girls, going over to Sombra and the Wrecking Ball to deal with the Doomfist, and it's worked because the HP pool of the Wrecking Ball, and Wrecking Ball being booped doesn't really mean anything. Wrecking Ball just is so mobile. In combination with that hack.
Ooh, Damien!
Oh, Damien!
He gets the headshot mid-air, and then he gets the follow-up onto Fishy Man, showing up for his team here. All of a sudden, it's dire straits here for Team Tree. It was looking so good just 2 minutes ago, and now everything's flipped on its head. BTS fan, he found one with the Dragon Blade, and only one, but that might just be enough as Alvin Slayer pops the mines on the point, finds Fishy Man once again. Stalker isolated, taken down in the corner. The cart moving forward here. We said we so seldomly see the push map completed, but we might get to witness that unicorn here for the 2nd time in this tournament so far, I think. Oh, the Reaper comes through. Fishy Man with the Death Blossom, but he finds nothing. Forced back. Kitsune Rush on the point. The map will be completed. California Games routing Team Tree completely.
I think we might have cast a curse to Team Tree there. Well, they're not going to finish. Or they could finish. It looks like they're going to finish. Oh no, California Girls finish. And they snowballed that map hard. I think we were questioning the Wrecking Ball pick in the last map, but it really seems to shut down the Doomfist so well. And once the Doomfist is gone, the aggression of Team Tree is really muted.
Yeah.
That was very, very well played. A really good tactical adjustment from the California Girls.
Yeah,
showing that they're not just good players, they also know what they're doing and understand why they're playing the comps they're playing.
Yeah, that's something I was saying yesterday actually when we were watching the California Girls is because they're quite in a narrow band of MMR, they're all relatively on the same page, and they all kind of know how the game is meant to be played at the level they're at. Because when you have big gulfs between skill levels, sometimes your better players want to play the game the right way, and your mid-level players want to play the way that wins them games at their SR, and lower-level players want to do the same, and that can kind of create this dynamic. And Stalker, you can kind of see there as one of the high-level players on this team, left in the lurch a little bit. He kind of, when the Doomfist didn't work anymore, he switches over to the Zarya. Never really felt like he got any value out of that, and in fact looked a little bit out of his depth, not skill wise, but at least like didn't really want to be on the Zarya, but felt like he needed to do more. And I think a big part of that was Apricornicus on that Sombra. We saw once he got hacked on the middle of the team fight and he just stopped. he was just finished. He was like, well, I'm dead now. Game over, I guess. And then he switches to Zarya. He sits in spawn for a couple of minutes, seconds, trying to think of a way to come up with something. But that might be the key here. Of course, team play is very critical, but Stalker, we know, sometimes you can get triggered by a particular hero of the enemy team. If you know which one I'm thinking of.
I know exactly which one you're thinking of.
But this one, Apricornus and Sombra are making it so hard for him.
I think the issue for Team Tree moving forward is also, I think, California Girls know the hero we're talking about.
Yes.
And they have figured out, at least it looks like in that map, they have figured out how to play into Team Tree, what they want to throw. And I'm unsure. We obviously will have to see in the next map moving forward, but I'm unsure if Team Tree have the flexibility to respond, because I mean maybe they do, but because everything they've played in the past has worked for them, so they haven't had a need to be flexible. But we have to see that flexibility now. You know, Team Tree, they made the first move, and California Girls responded well. It's now on Team Tree to respond in turn. They have to make the play now. They have to decide how are we going to respond to this Wrecking Ball, this Sombra.
Yeah, that is going to be the key, and I've seen this a lot out of the California Girls. We've watched them a couple of times now, but Alvin Slayer, you know, he's got a really strong Sigma, he's got a really strong Diva, but when he comes out on this ball, it seems like he just unlocks something for the California Girls squad. He makes so much space for Babs to work on that Genji, Apricornicus, on the Sombra or the Tracer, and the pressure just comes off the backline as well. So that really feels like a key to unlocking the California Girls' sort of best playstyle, maybe. And I'm interested to see how that translates if they do end up taking this next map, which will be Hollywood. How that translates into the grand finals, the rematch against the Frontline Fighters. Because what was their solution to it? It was the Junkrat. The Junkrat kind of ruins the day of BTS fan on the Genji. Like, it's not a hard counter, but it makes it so awkward to play. You gotta scrape your face along the ground looking for the trap. You can take random pulls, we call them in Team Fortress 2, what do we call them in this game? These little bombs. A concussion mine hits you at the wrong time. All of a sudden, it can you just feel like you can't play the hero you want to play the hero when you're playing Genji to Junkrat. And the same with the ball. You get trapped in the wrong spot. All of a sudden, all your momentum is killed, and you're kind of uncomfortable. So I want to see do Team Tree look at that and go, hey, let's give it a shot at least.
They might, because one of the reasons that I think Team Tree was struggling going into this against the Wrecking Ball is Stalker was able to bully Diva. He can, you can punch the Diva and defense matrix get cancelled for a brief second. You can knock the Diva around, and it forces it's an awkward. It's not Diva, I think, has the better of it, but it can be difficult. Going on to the Wrecking Ball does not care in the slightest. If Wrecking Ball gets booped, Wrecking Ball gets stunned, Wrecking Ball gets hacked, Wrecking Ball goes, okay, cool, I will press E, I have 1000 HP, and I'll just roll away. And Wrecking Ball is fine. The problem that we saw against the Frontline Fighters was Elvin Slayer was getting stuck in Zoom's traps a lot. And being stuck in that trap for 4 seconds in front of a Junkrat spamming at you with a lot of damage is an issue. And then they were losing their tank, and then everything just fell apart from there. So maybe we'll see Team Tree make that adjustment. It remains to be seen, though, if the DPS players have that in their hero pool. I think we might see, if they do want to pull it, we might see Talus go on to the Junkrat. But I think that's unlikely, because also we've only really seen Reaper from Fishy Man.
Fishy Man, yeah. At least in this batch. I'm trying to cast my mind back to last weekend if we saw him on anything else.
He played a little bit of Soldier in the last map, but not a lot. In the last match, I mean.
Yeah, somebody else was playing. Talus wasn't playing last weekend.
Talus was playing. They were playing Soldier and Widowmaker.
Okay. I've just forgotten.
Yeah, but the Junkrat might be a solution.
It shocks me because he's playing very well.
He is. I don't think anyone on Team Tree is playing poorly. I think the coordination and aggression of California Girls is not. It's working really well into how Team Tree want to play the game. Team Tree want to disrupt people, but California Girls say, we don't care if you engage onto us because we're all together and we're all pressing W onto your backline.
Yeah.
And that's creating issues then for Team Tree, because then even if Talus, Stalker, or Fishy Man have killed 1 or 2, California Girls have already picked up 3 people.
Yeah.
And then every fight is sort of a losing fight before anything happens for Team Tree. And so they have to be the ones deciding. They have to be the ones engaging. Because right now it's California Girls engaging and Team Tree responding. We want
Yeah.
to see Team Tree be the ones deciding fights and not California Girls. For Team Tree's sake.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we no bias here. Whoever wins will be happy with the result. We just want to see good Overwatch, but we do want to see more games. So we do want Team Tree to. We'll show that bias.
Reverse sweep? Question mark?
For Hollywood, exactly. We either want a reverse sweep or we want a near reverse sweep.
We have had a substitution. Unfortunately, the load shedding demons have struck,
Oh,
and Samurai PTA has been substituted for Pillock. So we might see a bit of a change here because Samurai seems to favor the Lucio, whereas Pillock more of an Ana, more of a Moira player. So then we might see, like what we're seeing now, the Monkey out of Stalker, and Stalker is a very, very competent Monkey player.
Probably his best hero. He's been
Probably,
leaning on the. I mean, you were a teammate of his, right? I think.
Yes, he's a very, very good Monkey.
Yes.
And that might then aid with Pillock, who is more of an Ana player, that Ana, Moira, that kind of style. So we could see different things out of Team Tree here, a different look.
And they do need something different because they are currently down 0-2, as we can see here. They're on the defense for the moment and gonna just be hiding around the corner here, but that is the hero Apricornicus. Babs is like, psych, I'm not playing Widowmaker.
I think they've seen the Monkey. They know they don't need to respond to the Doomfist.
True. So now we're just gonna move on forward here. Just dip their nose in here, see what's happening. Stalker gonna bail out there. Those are the limits of that hero as well as any Winston player does. And they've spotted something on the left-hand side here. It's the Reaper. Fishy Bang dropping low. Stalker to the rescue here. And he'll get that first pick. The second as well. Damien and Babs taken down. So that's the start Team Tree needed. That'll get them off on the right foot.
Maybe California Girls might have been expecting the Doomfist, but now with the Monkey, it's a very different game plan.
Yeah.
The game plan now shifts from, respond to the Doomfist to now...
switch from Apricornicus.
Exactly. We have to kill this Ana, we have to deal with this Monkey.
Yeah, that is the Sombra now, not really the key to unlocking this composition for the California Girls. It's going to be this Reaper from Apricornicus. If Stalker doesn't respect him, he'll be under a lot of pressure. But Stalker's played against Reaper many times in his career, so it should be okay. A great anti-heal over the top from Pillock. Not gonna help them secure any kills, but the pressure's on. Look at the HP diff right now for the California Girls versus Team Tree. California Girls taking a lot of damage here. Diva demech'd and taken down, and there we go. A cascade of kills coming through, so a slightly different change in approach here, both in terms of their roster and their composition and their playstyle. Working out so far for Team Tree.
So far, we said that maybe, California Girls had figured Team Tree out and Team Tree needed to change something up to respond to how California Girls are playing. Maybe this forced load-shedding substitution is that change. Having Pillock on that Ana, free Stalker to play the Monkey. And this might be the answer to Team Tree's issues. We're going to see ults now from the side of Team Tree as well.
Yeah, they've got a huge advantage. They forced a compositional switch out of the California Girls, it's worth remembering. So, Talos here on the high ground on the McCree. First time I'm not really seeing him on the Soldier here, but look at this. Nano Boost aggressive. He finds two on the front line. They'll pick up a third there. Estio-san, he's seen the Ana. He wants to do it himself, but it's looking pretty dire here. Just a minute and a half left on the clock for the California Girls. We might see a total rout here from Team Tree, Fluffy.
Yeah, we might, and we're going to see an adjustment. They've given up on the Diva and they're going over to the Wrecking Balls. We're gonna have a Blade. That's really it. There's no ults on the side of California Girls. And Stalker. Oh, Stalker's not gonna get out. This could be it.
Here comes the Blade, the Suzu to start it off though. Will keep them alive. Nice healing from Pillock here. The anti-heal as well. The pressure is real for Babs. He'll get taken down. The Blade, the only spell they had coming into this team fight, will not be able to find any kills. And now look at the Hellfire shotguns. Oh my god. What am I watching? 1, 2, 3, 4. Count them all. The rate of fire is so high inside that Kitsune rush, and now Fisherman will get aggressive and look to clean up here. Stalker is back, large and in charge and scary to deal with now. Can they find Alvin Slayer on the way out? Stalker says, yes sir, I can, but no, Alvin Slayer will skedaddle on out of there. But Team Tree, I mean, they're totally in the driver's seat now, Fluffy.
Completely, and that was Mina Miner and Pillock coming up massive. They together kept Talos alive. Being solo bladed by BTS fan, it was not the best blade we've ever seen, and they really Pillock and Mina Miner making up for that mistake from Stalker going down, and now the ult economy is so in their favor.
Oh, the sleep! Oh, Babs not getting taken down here, but Stalker can go aggressive. He's got Primal Rage, and Alvarez has died in the backline. This is the last fight, 7 seconds on the clock, and it's looking like it's all blue in the kill feed here. Team Tree cleaning up. They've got ults to celebrate with, but celebratory ult from Apricornicus, but put in a corner, slammed into the earth. He's trying to bury him as well. Team Tree will finally find some purchase in the series.
That is a statement. That is a statement performance. The change over to the Monkey, over to the Ana. California Girls didn't have the response to it. Maybe they just didn't know how to respond to it. And a full hold on point A from Team Tree.
We should be going to... We have to go to a game 4.
We will be going, yes.
They can hope for is a draw here.
Exactly. California Girls have to change things up. We saw... There was that massive sleep. Pilot came up big with that sleep onto BTS Fan. But then we saw on the counter, Damien saved his Genji. He woke him up. But they're already in such a dire situation. Elvis Slayer had gone down. They're 4v5. And Team Tree at that point are just cleaning up. They have ult advantage. Stalker had his Primal. Fishing Man had his Death Blossom. And it was too much for California Girls. We're going to see a swap. BTS Fan going over to the Hanzo. Elven Slayer going over to the Zarya. Apricornicus, massive swaps for California Girls. Every single hero except the Kiriko have swapped.
Yeah, literally everything they can change, they have changed. Because, of course, just to remind you guys, Kiriko is mandated in the Kiriko Cup. You need to play Kiriko, to be in the Cup. Or if you are in the Cup, you are playing Kiriko. Let's put it that way. But you're right, total flavor switch here from the California Girls. Apricornicus on the Echo, Babs on the Hanzo. We've seen him play the Hanzo quite a lot here, but they're going to need to put something special out here, Fluffy. They can't afford to make any mistakes.
No, none whatsoever. No stops on the side of Team Tree. They've I think found what they want to do, and they're going to stick to it for the rest of the series. Stalker, Talus, and Pillock came up big that last round. Can they do it again? They're going to try to clear high ground here. California Girls controlling it well at the moment.
Oh, Stalker though, he's going to try and take control of the high ground for his team instead, and they have done so. Force them back down. This boy needs to be careful. Will shift out of there. Not going to go down, but Fishy Man and Stalker on the high ground. Happy to be there. Happy to put the pressure on. Looking for an opportunity to go forward, and they will do so now. Stalker goes forward. You saw Kiriko follow him through there. She's playing like a Genji at the moment. Minor looking to follow up on the kills from Stalker, and so far it's working for them. It's a fairly even fight. Can he find the Echo? He finds one. Not going to find the second one. Stalker dropping low. Has to get back here. Now they're under pressure here. Minor. Suzu will go down. Look to get the kill. Oh, this should be Echo down. The punch will find that kill. He'll drop down another punch for good measure. A lot of damage coming through is slept, but Stalker not being dealt with just yet, but he's losing teammates at a rapid pace. He might find this Tracer though, dropping low, has reset already in the corner. Kiriko, get out of here. Stalker trying to send him to space here, but there is a ceiling on the map, but it doesn't matter. There's no ceiling on Stalker's skill as Fishy Man finds 2 picks there on the front line. It's just a Sigma left that's of note here. He will go down. Babs is back on the Echo. Last man standing, not anymore, as Team Tree, a compositional shake-up here, a roster shake-up. Yeah. Exactly what they needed to bring themselves back into the series.
Great performance from Team Tree. The switch was perfect. Like you say, they didn't lose a tick on point A, and then they capped with the first fight on point. A long fight, but the first fight on their attack. California Girls now in a bit of a weird situation, because yes, they have the advantage. They're still 2-1 up, but that map was a worry for them.
Yes, definitely.
If things don't change, if there's no response from California Girls, and things stay the same way, Team Tree take the series. If the momentum stays the way it is, it's Team Tree in the driving seat, even with the score against them. California Girls need to mentally reset, go again. Next map is all that matters, and figure out a response to this Monkey and this Ana.
Yes, they absolutely do. But I think it's worth noting as well that Hollywood's the kind of map that can just go wrong like that.
They can.
You start on the wrong foot. You're behind on ult economy. You never really find a chink in the armor. They never had a single moment on attack where they had a full set of 5 ultimates to work with. So, there's a lot you can take out of that fight and kind of shrug off if you're the California Girls. And just like, okay, that was kind of an anomalous series. We now know what they want to do. We can now come out the gate with the right composition here as we head over to Casino Royale.
Casino Royale will be interesting because the Monkey might struggle a bit. Although it might also thrive, because Casino Royale, we see we see Widowmakers and Hanzos and Ashes thrive there. We see snipers really thrive. And with those long sightlines, the monkey might struggle. But on the other hand, if you're playing snipers, the monkey might thrive because monkey is an aggressive hero. He can jump, cover long distances, and he counters snipers in a way quite well. So if they do decide to keep this monkey, it will be interesting to see how the matchup goes if California Girls decide to respond with their own snipers. It could also favor Elven Slayer on the Sigma. We know he likes that hero. We know he's very good on that hero. The worry is Talos is a very good sniper. On all three of the snipers that I listed, he's very competent. And then a worry for Team Tree is if they're playing Ana, it can be difficult if you're sharing a sightline in Ana with a Widowmaker. The Ana is in a difficult situation because she can't heal as freely the monkey. So we're going to see some interesting back and forths in this map going forward, because it's going to be a very, very, very different map with its layout, with how it's played, to the last map we saw.
No, totally different. Of course, draw's not really possible as well here. But it's going to be fascinating to see. Of course, the flip side of that coin is that Stalker could end up making just oodles and oodles of space for Talos, whether he's on the Doomfist or on the monkey, which he switched to in the last map. So that's interesting to see. Of course, I feel like we have to point out that we do make like-for-like substitutions here as far as possible when it comes to skill rating. Pillock will have been relatively equal in rank when compared to Samurai PTA, but you can see, I'm equal in rank to a lot of noobs that play this game, but I might have a totally different set of skills at that rank, and we can see the difference that makes you.
Yeah, the difference of hero pool. Overwatch is a game where, despite what the devs say, swapping is a good idea. If you're being countered, you could be a better player than another player, but if you're being countered by a hero, counter swapping is a great idea. It's a great way to take advantage. This is why compositions are a thing. This is why team composition matters. Because heroes inherently are stronger in some aspects and weaker in others. And we are going to see the Ana, and we're going to see the monkey, and the Hanzo. So we're going to see snipers. Actually, we're going to see a Baptiste. That's interesting.
We are going to see a Baptiste indeed. Reshia's been kind of being on that Lucio for the most part. And it's been working well for them up until now. But as we've been saying, they need to make a change here. They need to respond. Whether it's playstyle or composition, something needs to change for the California Girls so they don't get a repeat of Hollywood. But speaking of repeat of Hollywood, Team Tree looks like they want to do more of the same, although very interesting to see Talos on the Genji. He wants to back Stalker up, they want to get aggressive.
Yeah, I think if the comps stay the same, we might see Team Tree with a slight advantage because they're going to want to play so aggressive into California Girls who are playing these snipers, and they might struggle with this aggression.
Look at the positioning here. They've spotted them out, but Stalker, he can just drop on outside the spawn here. Look, he's found his target. He's found Babs on the sniper. He's going to force him back into spawn. It wouldn't surprise me to see Babs straight up switch, but Reshia's he will have to wait a couple of seconds to switch because he has just gone down. BG's fan does get tracked down by Talos. Elven Slayer, though, rock to face action there as Miner gets taken down by him. And a very, very aggressive hold here. I've never seen anybody hold here, Fluffy.
They did this in the last map.
Okay, well,
last match,
I stand corrected.
Stalker, this is played much similar to the way that Havana Point A is played, where as a defender you spawn camp not to win the fight per se, but you just take that fight and lose it slowly and force out resources and time out of the attackers. So that was actually a really good fight from Team Tree. Even though they lost it, they have worn time out and they're going to be able to recontest very easily because the cart hasn't moved. So it was a really well played fight actually from Team Tree.
Yeah, just a minute burned off the clock there, but that's exactly what you're trying to do with that fight. You expect to lose that first fight. They didn't even lose that, really. So we're going to go aggressive here. Stalker into the backline, into the thick of things. He's kind of isolated the Sigma here away from his team, and now we'll look to get aggressive onto the high ground here. What is that, a soldier he spotted out there looking to take it out? Or we see someone low HP, but he knows not to just follow in willy-nilly. Tunnel vision onto those kills instead. Will make space for his team now. Going to get aggressive. Puts a bubble down. He finds Elven Slayer, and that is going to be it. It's going to have to be backing up here for the California Girls. And once again, we see Team Tree in the driver's seat here to start their defense.
Yeah, the Monkey is making a lot of space and making it difficult for the Sigma, as we're going to see the railguns come out. Apricornicus looking to find a pick, but there's no real space for Elven Slayer with this Monkey in his face. So we might see California Girls have to swap, but they have to be decisive if they want to swap, because this is going to be the last opportunity to get ults.
Oh, speaking of decisive, a decisive move here from Team Tree as they pop the nano on the Monkey. He gets a couple of kills. What is this Primal Rage? That feels a bit unnecessary, but Stalker says, screw you, I'm gonna make something happen here. He's bullying Restiosa, and he might corral him straight back into point here. Not gonna do so. Was that a double jump? I don't think it was, but very nice play from the Team Tree. And as you say, ult in a bit of an awkward spot here for California Girls.
Yeah, they're coming up to all their ults, but they seem to be they're losing the composition war. They might be winning the ult economy war, but they're losing this composition war. And I think if we see California Girls throw their ults out here and then swap to something that might counter Team Tree a bit better, they're not going to have ults moving forward. So this is a difficult situation.
Oh, but they're going to go forward here with their combo. The Kitsune Rush with the Genji Blade. He slept for a moment there. Look at how little he could get done with that. Now the Dragon Strike coming through the other way. He's under pressure, but he will get that kill, BTS fan, onto Fishy Mang. Can Talos get anything done on this Hanzo? He's losing teammates at quite the rate. And finally, the California Girls find something. They were losing the compositional war, but the ult economy war ended up winning it for them.
They threw 4 ults to that fight and they won it. And they're not going to be able to contest. That's really good. Nice, well played from California Girls, but a really good point A defense from Team Tree. That was about as well as they could have played that. And we're going to have a pause.
All these guys, you don't usually see teams holding that first point. The second point and third point tends to be where the money is made. So Elven Slayer asking for a pause there, so probably Babs, knowing him and his internet. But yeah, a great start for Team Tree. They've unlocked something here. It's clear to see now.
They have.
Stalker on this Monkey with Pillock on the Ana backing him up. This is a different complexion.
It is. It's really forcing California Girls out of their comfort zone. Elven Slayer is a good Sigma, but Sigma struggles when he has to deal with people in his face. Sigma wants to be in a long-range war against snipers, against mid-range heroes. He doesn't want to have a Reaper in his face. He doesn't want to have a Monkey in his face. It makes things awkward for Restiosin and Damien. And it makes things awkward for BTS Fan now without his Wrecking Ball or his Diva, because now BTS Fan doesn't have that engagement. He has to go in alone. There's Elven Slayer can throw out a shield for him, Damien can heal him and Suzu him, Restiosin can throw a lamp at him, but at the end of the day, BTS Fan is alone on the engagement. It's a bit of a mix-up with the composition from California Girls, you know?
Yeah, a bit anti-synergistic.
Exactly.
Have to see here what they can get done on the side of Team Tree though now, as they've got the Death Blossom ready to go. That's pretty much the only ulti Stalker. Getting aggressive into the backline, it looks like. It's Fishy Man looking for targets for Talos. He's the one who's going to open the kill count here in this team fight. Stalker under pressure, but Talos on the high ground, uncontested, under so much, or just putting so much pressure on. Look at that, 4K I think that was. Can he get that last kill onto the Sigma? No, Elven Slayer gonna deny him that right, as Team Tree will force them back.
This is the issue of the second point of this map, is this high ground, and having just a DPS or a support free on this high ground is so oppressive, and we saw exactly why there. A free Cassidy on the high ground. Look how much space he has there. Oh, he's almost gonna kill himself in zone ICBM.
Yeah, we've all been there. As now he looks to find an angle, 77 towards his ulti. The nano boost. That's a quick 3K. Blink and you'll miss it.
Oh, 5K!
That's everybody dead. Fishy Man, Pillock working together to absolutely dominate that team fight.
A 5K from Fishy Mang, and his Death Blossoms have been really good, and they continue to be really good. We're going to see a swap now. Elven Slayer has given up on the Sigma. I think that's a wise decision. He's going over to the Wrecking Ball. This will put more pressure on Pillock. I think this is what they need.
What am I watching here? What is this?
Tanks unite.
Two friends hanging out, having a chat here. This Elven Slayer now going to work his way forward. He is stuck. He's dropping low, half HP. The blade will come through though. So will the overcharge, whatever that spell's called with Stalker. He's overcharged in his own way now with the Primal Rage, but all his teammates are dying around him. He might actually just need to back out here. No, he gets Elven Slayer. Maybe he can buy team for the team to get back. Maybe he doesn't even need to. Fishing Man finds BTS Fan on the front line here. The car not really moving. A nice boop. Gonna force Stalker back here, but the Stalker and Fishyman to the rescue.
That was really well played. I thought California Girls had that, but Team Tree brought it back with Fishy Mang and Stalker surviving long enough and getting the picks they needed, trading. And that was an advantageous trade for them. I like the swap from California Girls, playing this more aggressive comp. Putting pressure on the backline is what they need to do.
Oh, but pressure is what Alvin Slayer is absorbing right now. Kiriko, Kitsune rushes in both directions. I believe Minor and Damon looking to open things up for their team, but Talos, he's going to be the one that finds a kill onto Apricornicus, sticks him with the ICBM, as you call it. That spell probably has a name. I don't know what it is, though. As Fishy Mang now looks to teleport forward, looks to clean up the... Alvin Slayer will just get out of there, but it's disaster station here for California Girls. They've got a little bit of time to try and make something happen, but this would be a huge hole for Team Tree if they can get it done.
It will be. We're going to see a BTS fan swap over to the Reaper. Oh, but this will be dangerous TP if he takes it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh.
Get slipped, take it down straight away. We said it might be a bad decision. It didn't look good, that's for damn sure. It's Fishy Man. Spin to win on the point here. The Death Blossom looking to find targets, won't find any kills directly, but will set up a couple on the rest of the squad here. Minefield on point, making space on the point for the California Girls, but who needs space when you've got no heroes alive? A celebratory cast out to get rid of BTS fan once again, and that will be a Team Tree. Momentum firmly behind them.
Yeah, that was very well played from Team Tree. California Girls struggling with the thing that everyone struggles on this map, that 0.2 high ground. Having that Talos on that high ground was so free. And every time California Girls engaged, we saw Damien, Restioson, and Apricornicus and BTS fan struggling with the pressure of this Cassidy, just pummeling them from high ground.
Yeah.
And I liked the swaps. I liked seeing Elven Slayer going onto the Wrecking Ball. I just wish it was sooner.
Yes.
That being said, it's not end of the world for California Girls, because just like they struggled on that point, Team Tree could also struggle on that point. That being said, Monkey is the kind of hero that does thrive at taking high ground. So if California Girls set up on point B and try to control that high ground, Stalker can jump up and contest it very freely.
Alvin Slayer here, he will be on the Diva, so the Sigma not really working, and we saw that. We thought that that might be the case given the way Team 2 was playing. The Sigma kind of just gets steamrolled a little bit when he's put under pressure. So the Diva makes more sense. But again, I agree with you. I feel like the Monkey's really strong here in this position with being able to control the high grounds. Of course, the Diva fills a similar kind of role, but it doesn't feel like they've been having that much success with the Diva on the side of the California Girls.
No, not for a while.
I do see Apricornicus on the Junkrat.
Maybe the Junkrat is the answer. To answer your question from earlier, the ability Cassidy's ICBM is not an ICBM, it is a magnetic grenade.
Magnetic grenade. Terrible name. What a generic name.
That's a good start.
Apricornicus, though, he will start things off with a kill into Fishing Man, and that's going to buy a little bit of time off the clock. It kind of does the same thing that the aggressive defense did, and all Talos gets picked up as well. So just need to get a nice clean reset here from Team Tree, but Stalker says no thank you. I would like a dirty reset instead, as he now fights his way onto the point here. Of course, the respawns do come through quite quickly here. Stalker now goes around, looks for the punch through. He gets a lot. He's looking for the Junkrat, but he won't find him. The defense is there, and now so are the kills. Alvin Slayer finds two here. Talos looking for angles here. A single headshot could crack open the defense, and Alvin Slayer, recognizing that, gets aggressive onto the Widowmaker here. Stalker's back in this team fight though. He's going to pressure Alvin Slayer. Alvin Slayer just going to fly on out of there. So good start so far for the California Girls, and they need a good start. They don't have that much distance to defend here, but Apricornicus on this Junkrat doing so much damage. 64% towards the ulti. Looking space here. The Reaper TP's in under pressure. Apricornicus needs to be careful not to get taken down. Will not get taken down. At least not just yet. Stalker though. Nice movement on the Doomfist. The bomb over the top. Finds one. Pillock the Anna down. That makes everyone's life so much harder as the Kitsune rush comes through in the other direction. Talos found one. He found a second. Will he find any more? Will it matter though? He's lost all of his teammates here. The Widowmaker not finding value fast enough, Fluffy, it feels like.
Maybe, but she is controlling these sightlines and forcing California Girls to back up. They are respecting the Widow sightlines, which is what you have to do. Stalker swapped over to the Doomfist when he saw that the California Girls had made compositional swaps. I think that was a wise decision. We've seen it do it well.
Headshots.
This is looking interesting. An interesting fight going forward.
Oh my god, Dragon Strike so big. Minor will drop straight off the bat here. Stalker gets aggressive. This Brig is an interesting pick, but interesting picked off right now as Restio-san taken down by Stalker. Will prepare with his life here, so it's going to be hard for the Team 3 to make an aggressive move without their Doomfist, but never mind. Who's a Doomfist and you got a Reaper? He's kind of like a tank in many ways if you squint hard enough, and what he really is at the moment though is a DPS as he takes down 3 in that team fight, and that might be enough to secure the cap.
You're not wrong, dude. If you lose your tank, Reaper can function as a sort of a quasi off tank. As he goes down there, speaking of him.
Yeah.
Are they going to get the recontest before the touch? It looks like it.
The boop almost enough there, but not quite, as now the Riptide comes in. Oh no, Apricot, Stalker found him out, but he's losing players on the front line here. Fishman will come in here with the Death Blossom, so that might be able to crack open the defense here. Stalker says, I've not had enough yet. I'm still busy fighting on the point here, almost up to another Meteor Strike here. Now in the backline, making space for his team. Fishyman gonna move on forward here, dropping low, needs to be careful not to get taken out. Will get healed up now. He's just looking for an angle on the point. If they can take down that Diva or D-Mecha, that'll be what they need, but they've switched onto the Sombra now. They recognize Stalker can be the key here. If they can deal with him, they can kill the Team 3 squad, and so far it's looking like that's what they want to do here. Stalling out a little bit here on the point, it has to be said. Meteor Strike will come through back towards point. They're not going to find anything. This fight just not starting just yet. Just both teams looking for that opportunity. Fishyman having to pop the shadow form here. I hear a Sombra on the back here somewhere. You be careful, but there it is. Fishyman, he's found it, but already dropped. Fishyman drops as well. The Diva Matrix too strong. 10 seconds left. I don't think they're going to get back here.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to. That was really well played from Elvislayer and Restiosan. They got the defense matrix entirely over the ult. I think it's going to be maybe on Stalker, and he's not going to be able to do it. And that's California Girls' win. The Team 3 looked to be completely in driving seat, but California Girls brought it back. That's really well played.
I'm shocked. It looked like they were totally in control, but as we said, the defense of the second point can be so critical. And of course, they didn't cap the first point, but it was basically a second point defense from that high ground.
That contest proved to be so important. Fishyman getting the 5k, very nice to see.
Oh, very nice.
It was really good adjustment from both teams. You saw a really good back and forth. That was wonderful to see. At the end there, the big play, I think, was Elven Slayer and Restiosan defense matrixing that Death Blossom and then killing the Reaper.
Yeah.
It was if that Death Blossom had got value, that was, I think, game, honestly. And we would have gone to a last map with the way the momentum would have switched. That was a really good match. And now we're going to see the replay that we wanted to see of California Girls against Frontline Fighters, the rematch in the grand final.
Yeah, we absolutely are, and I'm fascinated to watch that, because yesterday we saw a totally different complexion to what we've been seeing. We saw Zoom on that Junkrat. We saw Apricornicus trying to match him, but I wonder now, is that, you know, how appropriate is that going to be? How is that series going to play out? Because the California Girls looked unstoppable in this map, you know, until the switches came through from Team 3, and even then they've been responding excellently throughout this whole tournament, adapting to what their opponents are doing.
Yeah, they did a great job, and they played really well. It was really well played. I'm at a loss for words how they reacted. They reacted so well. It was California Girls came out well, and then Team 3 came out with this really good adaptation. But California Girls switched it around. The swaps we saw the monkey come out from Team 3, and Kenya Fallen Girls responded to it well. And then we saw the Doomfist come out, and then we saw again the California Girls swapping it themselves again. Moving into the grand final, though, it'll be interesting to see if Frontline Fighters, maybe watching this game, seeing some weaknesses in California Girls.
If you're watching this, if you're on the Frontline Fighters watching this game, what stands out to you as something that you might be able to use to your advantage here, Fluffy?
I think California Girls need to stick together. When they play their game plan of aggression, all of them playing together, they like to play these Lucio Kiriko comps with the Diva and with the Wrecking Ball and the Genji, and then Apricornix is often swapping between different highly mobile heroes. If they play that aggression and play together, I think they can really pick off members of the Frontline Fighters, because the Frontline Fighters like to play split. Zoom likes to flank. We've seen Josh Z like to flank as well. So if California Girls can can execute their dives well, I think they have a chance to win that. And the other important thing, and this is a direct message to Babs, is look at the floor and look at the traps. Because Boom puts traps down, and when you're shooting at them, don't walk into them.
Yo, that was a cool move where you literally saw it, you're literally shooting at it, and then you still walk into it. Yeah, that's going to be key for me. Like I said, it feels like what Babs is able to get out of the Genji can really set the stage for what California girls can do with the rest of the composition. But that's coming up next, guys, at 6 o'clock. So in an hour and a half, the grand finals of the Kiriko Cup will be taking place.
I believe we might also have a slightly delay because of load shedding. So we might be starting at 6:30. I'm not 100% certain on that, though.
Well, you guys will just have to keep up with that.
We'll keep you informed.
Yes, exactly. And where can we be found? On Twitter, of course, at ZA Overwatch. You probably won't find that information there, but you'll definitely be able to find it on the COWZA Discord. Links for that are in stream in the Twitch chat at the moment if you'd like to join. And if you'd like to take part in tournaments like these or just get involved with the Overwatch community in general, maybe you'd like to cast, you think you can do a better job than we did.
You probably can.
It happens, you know. We've seen Snowball Ninja come in and he's straight off the bat been very, very solid. So if you'd like to get involved in any way you can, don't hesitate to join if you're not joined already. Otherwise, at ZA Overwatch on Twitter. My name has been Sun Phoenix, at Sun Phoenix on Twitter, SUNPHEONYX. You can follow me there. I tweet infrequently about nonsense. And then, of course, I was joined by Fluffy. Thank you so much. You'll be back in just over an hour.
I will be back. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Fluffy53 Rob on Twitter, but I don't ever tweet anything. I probably tweet less frequently than Sun Phoenix.
Oh, almost certainly, because you like literally never tweet anything, as far as
excuse me, I tweeted something last night. I called out Blur for his preference in food.
Okay, so I'll have to tweet today to keep up the standard.
All right, yeah.
I'll tweet about F1. This F1 this evening, so I'll tweet about that.
We just played Circle Royale, so perfect.
Exactly, lore bonus. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it from me. Thanks so much for joining us for the lower bracket grand finals. California girls punched their ticket back to the grand finals for a rematch against the Frontline Fighters. That'll be happening at 6 to 6:30. So please, guys, join us then. Have a good night. Otherwise, thanks so much.